This is the Eastern Business Report, where we look at the business ecosystem in the Eastern region and discuss topics affecting the region's economy. But first, let's take a look at some of the major business and development stories making headlines across the Southeast, beginning first from Anambra State, where the Anambra State government has made good its threat to slash salaries of workers who fail to show up for work on Mondays that was earlier declared sit-at-home days by the indigenous people of Biafra. The state government had in January announced that it would begin a pro-rata payment system with deductions from salaries of civil servants who failed to come to work on Monday, as the governor also used the opportunity to announce an end to sit-at-home protest. One of the workers who pleaded to speak under anonymity said, a worker in his ministry only received 100 naira as payment for February after deductions. The staff, who is from the Ministry of Information, lamented that out of a total of his over 80,000 naira salary, he received just 3,500 naira. Meanwhile, the State's Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefo, when contacted, confirmed that the deductions were a punishment for failure to come to work on Mondays. Now from Abia State. The Abia State government has concluded arrangement to host its maiden Abia Business Roundtable Summit under the current administration today, Thursday, March 5th, 2026. The Commissioner for Information, Prince Okekano, disclosed this during an interactive session with journalists at Government House Umuahia, where he was joined by the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Abia State Public-Private Partnership Office and Investment Promotions Office, Mr. Chinedum Chijioke. Kano said the summit is designed to attract key industrial players and business leaders from across the country, as the event will hold at the International Conference Center, Ugurube Layout. According to him, the roundtable aims to foster collaboration between the government and the private sector by providing a platform for constructive engagement. He added that the event, which will be presided over by Governor Alex Oti, will create an opportunity for participants to outline their needs and understand measures already put in place by the government to support businesses. Speaking further, Chijioke said the summit is intended to create a structured platform for sustained engagement between the government and the business community, noting that the initiative would allow business leaders to contribute to policy formulation and help shape the state's business environment and economic development strategy. Now from Delta State, where a peace and environmental rights advocate, Comrade Muladi Sharif, has urged Governor Sharif of Delta State to prioritize large-scale industrialization as a central piece of Delta State's development strategy, which would curb the rise in unemployment rate and preventing potential security threat. Muladi made the call in a statement issued to journalists in Warri on Wednesday, expressing concern over an alarming rate of joblessness, particularly among youths, commending the governor for remarkable and visible achievement in infrastructure development across urban centers in Delta State. Muladi stressed that physical infrastructure alone would not sufficiently address growing poverty, hunger, and unemployment. According to him, the state must deliberately refocus its policies towards stimulating industrial growth and expanding employment opportunities for its teeming population. Muladi, the Igbo Sorimori of Oyurid Gabaramatu Kingdom in Warri Southwest Local Government Area, called on state government to revive moribund industries and create an enabling environment capable of attracting both local and foreign investors, noting that Delta's strategic location, abundant natural resources, and human capital position it to become a major industrial hub if backed by the right policies and strong political will. Still from Delta State, where Delta State University is set to use $1.75 million in federal funding to help train future agricultural pilots. Officials announced that the funding was made available by the FY 2026 Labor, Health and Human Service and Education Appropriation Bill signed into law by President Donald Trump in February. which will go towards enhancing Delta State agricultural aviation operation career pathway and was created to address a growing national shortage of qualified agricultural pilots and to support the long-term needs of the agricultural industry. Established through previous federal support, the program combines commercial and instrument flight training with specialized instruction in aerial application operations, agricultural safety, turbine, aircraft system, and precision application techniques. However, Delta State remains the only public university in Mississippi offering a comprehensive pathway focused specifically on agricultural aviation operations. Housed within the University College of Business and Aviation, the program builds on Delta State's decades-long aviation tradition while responding to modern industry demands. Students gain hands-on flight experience, industry mentorship, and specialized training that prepares them to enter the workforce immediately upon completion. Meanwhile, graduates of aviation program have gone on to careers supporting agricultural producers across the Mississippi Delta and beyond, helping sustain farm production and rural economics. Furthermore, Delta State leadership praised U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith for her role in developing a workforce development plan for agricultural aviation at the university, as officials also touted the state legislature to accelerate and the South Delta Planning and Development District for their support. Moving to Akwa Ibom State, Federation Account Allocation Committee records published by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation contradicts claims by Governor Omeno of Akwa Ibom. The state has not received its statutory 13% derivation fund since September 2025. Mr. Eno had, during a prayer meeting on Sunday, 1st March at Government House Uyo, stated that the state stopped receiving the oil derivation revenue since September 2025. However, review of FAC disbursement documents show that between September and December 2025, Akwa Ibom received 119.82 billion naira as its 13% derivation allocation, excluding additional derivation-related refunds shared among oil-producing states. In addition, oil-producing states shared several derivation refunds, including 150 billion naira as 13% derivation refunds on NLNG proceeds, 100 billion naira refunded under the subhead of 13% derivation on withdrawals from joint venture cash calls and deferred cash calls, 18.16 billion naira as 13% refund on subsidy and priority project, and 6.59 billion naira as 13% derivation in respect of NMPC limited management fees and the Frontier Exploration Fund for May 2025. For October 2025, FAC records indicate that Akwa Ibom received 26.23 billion naira as derivation funds. In November 2025, Akwa Ibom received 27.42 billion naira as its 13% derivation, and for December 2025, FAC documents show that Akwa Ibom received 29.22 billion naira as derivation. And finally, from Edo State, Governor Monday Okpebholo has presided over a crucial stakeholders meeting with key players in the electricity sector in Edo State, following a recent peaceful protest in Benin City over power supply and billing concerns. Addressing participants, Governor Okpebholo said the issue raised were complex and could not be resolved in isolation, stressing the need for broader engagement involving all critical actors in the power value chain. Recall that the governor had earlier appealed to protesting youths and assured them that a meeting of stakeholders will be held. The governor, who described himself as a telecoms expert familiar with the metering system, explained that certain meter deduction complained about by residents as structured repayment mechanisms, as he emphasized that the overall challenge must be addressed comprehensively. He assured residents that his administration would not ignore their concerns, reiterating his commitment to ensuring improved power supply and fairness in service delivery as he appealed for calm, urging residents to remain law-abiding while the government works towards resolving the issues in the interest of the Edo people.